All right, now for our final video, even though we've already submitted Proving Ground number 1 and submitted all the rubric requirements. So you can always use my instructor example. You can look at the past examples here. All of them have all those rubric requirements. Right? So don't leave anything out. And I'll be scoring them, and if you leave something out, you'll see it in my scoring comment. But we're going to see the advantage of having this Proving Ground 1 PSD file with all these different layers where we really understand what we're doing with them. I don't need this guy anymore. And one of those advantages is we can use it to improve our landscape, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to, after I've saved it, take my character out of it. And then I'm going to take the shadow of my character out of it. Unless I think it's better with it. And in this case, I think it's going to be, I'm going to just take that shadow and take its opacity down a little bit. And now I'm going to see, let's see, there was also, so there are a few things I'd get rid of for my character. I'd take care of the kind of dodge, burn, blending mask that was just for the character. And I obviously had to take care of the character itself, get rid of that. And now all I have are my improved landscape. And you can even notice how the overall dodge and burn, the overall atmosphere, all kind of helps that landscape to be a more believable composite. I'd worked on the coloring, I'd worked on extending the river, I got rid of those people that were on the banks and the rocks. Yeah. And still, there's probably little things I could still work on. Like maybe I'll get rid of, just erase slightly this shadow in that cloud of the atmosphere. So that the sky is a little bit more open. But I still like that slightly filtered look in the sky. But where the clouds are doing the most is as they're overlapping the mountains. And now I'm going to show you how I resubmit assignment 1. So what I'm going to do is now save this with a different name. So I'm going to say File, Save As. When you say File, Save As, it will give you the option always to rename. And I'm going to call it, instead of Proving Ground 1, I'm going to call it Assignment 1 Resubmission. I always want you to label your resubmissions, and then I'm going to save it to the desktop. So I just saved it as a PSD to the desktop. I want to see it. Okay. And then I can save it so I can put it online. See, it says Assignment 1 Resubmission. I have the character taken out of it. Now I save it as a JPEG. Save a copy, resubmission, assignment 1, JPEG. Even if you really liked your assignment 1, even if you got the full 3 points on the assignment 1, this might be worth trying to see if adding that atmosphere and adding that extra kind of interrogation of the lighting improved it, right? So now that I've saved that, it's saved to the desktop. Here it is. But it is the resubmission. So I'm going to label that with purple. Label this one with blue. Okay. So now I can go to assignments from the home page. Go to assignment 1. Go to where I posted my assignment, which is here, right? And because I want to improve my portfolio and improve my grade and improve my typos, I am not going to erase my original. I'm instead going to write very clearly resubmission and then bring in from the desktop the JPEG. And since the goal is to composite 5 things believably into a believable landscape, sometimes that texture, that focus on lighting, that's going to really help to improve it. So what did I have before? I had this with the changes I made in Proving Ground 1. It looks like this, right? And this is just a little bit more believable. So you might find that that helps for you. Because the trees here are a little too sharp. The greens are too toxic. It's weird that the river cuts off right at the tree. It's weird that everything is super sharp going into the background. The atmosphere helps soften that, helps bring everything together, on and on and on. Now, what if I do that for the creature assignment, assignment 2. So I'm going to put assignment 1's resubmissions into my assignment 1 folder. Notice I have a different color, different names for them. I'm going to open Proving Ground 1 PSD, open again. Because remember, this has all of the layers. Oh, I don't want beta. I have to. That's fine. I'll just use beta. So now I want to strip the landscape. I just want the creature. So now I'm going to turn off all these other layers, except for my hero layer and my dodge and burn kind of layers on my creature. Now this might make my creature smaller than it was for assignment 2. But by playing with the lighting and by cleaning up its edges, and sometimes even just by puppet warping and posing it, sometimes this will improve your creature. But what do I need to do? I need to crop around it. And I need to save it not as a JPEG, as an empty background. And I can make sure I like how the lighting changed it, right? And maybe I lighten that just a little bit with opacity. But I do like, in general, what is changed in my creature, and it's cut out and all of that. So now I'm going to save it, File, Save As, and I'm going to call this Assignment 2 Resubmission. And I'm going to save it to the desktop as a PSD. But I cropped it. And now I'm going to save it as a copy and as a PNG with that background turned off. Some of us are still learning that. In order for the file to go online without a background, the background needs to be turned off ahead of time, and then it needs to be saved as a PNG format. So here's my PSD, mark that blue. Here's my resubmission PNG, mark that purple. Now I can close it. And I'm going to go to the home page and assignment 2. Where we post. You don't need to post a new sketch. You just need to post your resubmission on your creature. So I got to find my post. Why am I not seeing my post? Oh, it's probably on page 2 here. So there's my original post, right? And now, even if it's a slight difference, it might be better for my portfolio. I just want everyone to be really clear how the work they make can be improved upon throughout the semester. as long as you meet that original deadline. And now the resubmission, I'm going to bring in that purple one. And you can see it's still plenty big, at least for screen resolution. And bring it all the way down. Now there's a final step. So yeah, the posing helped a little bit. The head feels a little bit more in line with the body. And that core shadow that really runs through it, that really helps kind of bring it together in a more believable way. Okay, now the final step when you resubmit is you got to go to your inbox and you need to send me a message saying, I resubmitted assignment 1 and assignment 2. Right? And when I write back to you, I will say, I have looked at that, I've rescored, thank you. Right? But I won't know to look for a resubmission unless you send me that inbox message.